give it up for day 7. And as a reminder that we are forever in the eternal format, we have a really cool playmat going on sale this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is 6 p.m. for those of you located in California. So I will have details up for that if you guys are interested in this bad boy. Now, let's dig on into that fantastic discussion. Now sporting Christmas Robbie for the next 29 days. Great. Well, I have nothing really interesting to talk about. Fucking bah humbug. So, we're gonna keep talking about why certain cards are on the ban list and why certain ones shouldn't be on the list. Yesterday we had an interesting discussion about Chaos Emperor Dragon. And, well, today I was debating between Shrit and Construct. And, well, we're going to talk about Construct. Now, for those of you that don't know, a little bit about myself here. This is a fucking Banlist topic have to do with me. So, formerly, I took a break during the beginning of Shaddoll format. I actually got my invite the week of Shaddoll release. And that was when, Teller Knights, Yang Zings, all the fucking kit and caboodles coming out. I picked up the Shaddoll deck. I was like, we're good to go with this. Got my invite. I stopped playing. Now, the channel kept going and things like that. But my experiences with Shaddolls kind of dwindled for a little bit. Didn't really play during Cleve Fort format. I probably should have and things like that. But formerly, I kind of took a back seat during Shaddoll format because the deck was cool. But once again, the Shaddoll format was kind of a reset button, kind of much like we got with Dragon Rulers and Spellbooks. You kind of entered into that format, and then, things once again shifted during that format. Cleve Fort added more to it, and then, eventually Necroz, and then, everything got fucked up when Zoo came. And then, we kind of reached the point we are now. Now, formally, Construct has been banned for, so long. And the game has progressively evolved. You fundamentally have to understand that Yu-Gi-Oh! Power creeps itself. Oh god, every set is power, even if the set's not that good. Like, fundamentally, we are adding to power creep. And it's, even if you add something into the equation, like Boral Savage Dragon, for example, you're adding cards that eventually are going to add more into the fire. And even Boral Sword was like a good example of power creeping, because now you've added a factor into the format that can OTK things. Now, when you look at something as old as Construct, first off, she's a generic fusion. You guys have to understand that by generic, she's one light and a Shaddoll monster to make. We have Super Poly running around today's format. That shouldn't even be a real factor, but I kind of somewhere think in the back of my mind that they're afraid of Construct. It's like, oh no, generic. And then you look at invoked monsters and you're like, oh yeah, these are all generic too. Like, what are we honestly worried about with this? Now, the fact that the Shaddoll engine has pretty much all of their effects being like, cool, it's sent to the graveyard. You have draw power, you have destruction, you have Falco for recursion, but the general deck's core itself is honestly kind of starting to feel a little bit of the power creep. I mean, the best part of the deck is the fact that you can use fusion to fuse from the deck, and the fact that Beast does net you relatively consistent draw power for the most part. I think that's the part that kind of has made the engine good, but still looking at Construct over here, okay, cool, so we have a generic fusion monster, essentially, for the archetype, but why? What else is making us hesitant to want to do this? So she must be first fusion summoned. Cool, we got that. If this card is special summoned from your deck, or this card is special summoned, you can send one Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, so the thing that also essentially made Construct a fucking good card was the fact that you could send any Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. Any essential piece, the draw power, the destruction, whatever you need was at your fingertips. And even if you needed to, like, get some sort of additional spell set up into the graveyard. Like, for some reason, you need core in the graveyard, or you need El Shaddoll. You could do it. Like, and this was all on summon. Cool. We did it. You get a little toolbox. And then at the start of the damage step, if this card... Or at the start of the damage step, this card battles a special summon monster. Destroy that monster. Hello, Cataster? Is that you? Buddy? Why are we afraid of a Cataster? Like, hear me out here for a second. Cataster was a big asshole in his day, alright? You all know this, right? Cataster could even take down the mighty Obelisk the Tormentor. I remember when people were trying to make level 5 synchros to Obelisk the Tormentor. Those were the days. But now you've got something like Construct that also is a means to kind of slow down special summon monsters. I wonder if that's the reason why they have this card banned. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Shaddoll Spell and Trap card in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. That fusion, that El Shaddoll fusion, that regular Shaddoll fusion that you have used to make Construct, you know what? Add it back to your hand. Now, for the longest time, window was also limited in the OCG. And why are we afraid of... I'm kind of starting to think here that the real reason that we're actually afraid of Construct is she forces your opponent to not be able to play the game because any special monster that she battles, you know, she automatically destroys. And with the way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has gone to such a negative connotation now of, oh, you kind of build your board turn 1 and go. Well, it's not fair that if I summon a Construct, you can't out it. Well, 95% of these decks right now can just go Firewall, Bounce, Tri-Gate, Banish. Like, having her be a standalone monster that protects you, no, it was never meant to be that way. Now, maybe in a slower format, sure. I'm putting a lot of emphasis on this special summon standalone kills anything special summon clause, by the way. Like, I'm looking at this card and I'm like, that's got to be it, right? Like, not the fact that on summon we can dump any Shaddoll card from our deck and allow it to kind of capitalize on that effect. Maybe that's the real thing. So when I look at the current meta, I think we have the Shaddoll engine. The last thing that was played in the TCG was Dinosaurs, and we were kind of using it as like an extender. And then the only other time that I've honestly seen the Shaddoll engine, like it as a self engine being played, was fucking, I think it was a train deck. The last couple of days came across in the OCG, because Shakanaga's cool. Like, there's a lot of cool things we can do with Shek. But at the end of the day, I'm just sitting here, I'm like, why do we still have Construct locked up somewhere off in a faraway land? Why? This card needs to... Formally, this card needs to come back. This is honestly the best card that Shaddolls have. That's saying a lot, because Fusion's really fucking good. Alright? But why? Honestly, comment section. This is where I need you guys. Why are we so afraid of Construct? And this is going to be the same thing tomorrow, because I do want to make a video about Shrit and like the fundamentals that Shrit has going for it. But it's like, are you really that afraid of decks having Super Poly? You shouldn't have brought Super Poly back, right? Like, Construct has no business being locked up. Cool. Special summon, dump, ability to be used as an extender for looping back spells and traps and things like that. There's only one main monster zone, or one extra monster zone, and the Shaddoll Link monster blows asshole. Like, we all know that the Shaddoll Construct Link monster is incredibly terrible, alright? Like, nothing fundamentally, like, should have been doot down, and we could have got somewhere, alright? But fundamentally, what the original Shaddoll deck did, as opposed to what the deck currently does, the deck is just an engine at this point. And I think it's kind of the same thing that we've seen with some of the other decks now, just being engines. Like, I understand that engine-based cards do fundamentally ruin the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but I don't see any reason for this card to be banned, justifiably. Like, I think the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Will be fine with a copy of Construct running around. You know what? We can even give them back 3 copies at this point in time. Like, this is just some foolish bamboozlery. We even got Stratos back at some point, alright? Sometimes I think some of these bans that Konami makes are a bit outlandish, and that's saying something. Like, you need to be locking cards up for X time because they're a problem at X time. Eventually, we come back X years later, and it's not been a problem anymore. Trident. But for some reason, people still seem to think that Trident's a problem, even though Thunder Dragon Colossus is running, or Titan's running around. But fucking, what do I know, right? Titan's a much more fair card than our boy Trident. Let's look out for this discussion. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Should Construct still be banned? Alright, guys. I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanco40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.